Hello again everyone. Today I'll be doing my third coaching session. It'll be for the summoner RH Ringo, who is playing Warwick jungle in this game, and he is versus Udyr jungle. In this replay, I'm mainly going to focus on the early game. Given that this game is a very short game, only 20 minutes or so, I'm mostly going to focus on the early game because in reality, the early game is the most important point for a jungler. If you can get ahead in the early and play the early game correctly, you don't even need to get ahead. Once you play the early game correctly, you can get a large advantage on the enemy jungler and overall on the enemy team. Okay, so at the start of the game, you all are standing in this bush. Obviously, you're trying to invade the Udyr. You are not 100% sure on where the Udyr started, but the likelihood of where Udyr is starting is going to be bot side, most likely. The reason why he will most likely start bot side is because he wants to get a better leash from the bot lane. There's many things you need to think about as a jungler. One of the things is tracking the enemy jungler and knowing, predicting where he will be at certain points and what he's going to do. So Udyr is most likely to start bot lane. He can't bot lane meaning red buff to get a leash from his bot side, but he can also start blue buff. So the point is, there's no point really standing here. What you should do is just walk up here, at least check it, or if not check it, place a ward here to see if he's doing it. The reason behind why I would say there's no point standing here is because the likelihood of somebody passing from here, pathing up here, is very minimal. They're most likely going to path, if they're here, they're most likely going to walk around to come here. And that is also very unlikely because the top lane is just going to walk to lane like usual, and the jungler is here. If the jungler is going to get help from top lane, he will just come to help him from here. He's not going to path down here where you all are. There's no point really standing here. So you should just go immediately to blue buff, not wasting any time to think of anything. And even though you might say that there's no reason behind making such emphasis on this, if you had the ruined zombie ward, what you could have done is you could have placed a ward right here in advance, knowing that the enemy did not start here, and you would have a ward here. Actually, not here. That's probably not such a best place to put a ward, but there's no other bushes around the area. So putting a ward here will be able to tell you where the enemy jungle is. At least give some form of vision, if there's any form of vision. Because if you put a ward here, it's an okay ward. You'll be able to see where the enemy is, and it'll turn into a zombie ward later, but they're more likely to clear it. That's assuming that you take that room. So you see that he did not start here. He started bot side. This is what I predicted. So you all end up taking the blue buff, which is fine. The fact that he started bot side, he is going to end up pathing up. The chances of him taking his Raptor camp is very minimal because Udyr is a champion that doesn't have very good wave clear. He can take his Raptor camp, but the likelihood of him taking your Raptor camp is kind of slim. You need to estimate on the ability of the jungler to clear certain camps. Like if you know that they have large amounts of wave clear abilities, like take Vi for an example, she has good wave clear with her passive, and she stacks up 3 hits. Not all junglers are able to do this. Even Gragas is another example, who can clear camps easily, so he would not have a problem clearing your Raptor camp. But because he's Udyr, who's a single target champ, the likelihood of him clearing that camp at the start is very minimal, so he's most likely going to path from his red buff, which you take first, because you know he started bot side since you're here, and then he's going to make his way up to wolves, and then to check his blue. So he's most likely going to be at his wolves very soon. So the fact that you are taking the frog is a little risky, because if he knew where you were by him pathing here, like even walking a little distance here, he might see you, and then top laner might collapse on you. Since he's such a large distance, he could easily walk down here once they spot you. It's a little risky to take the Grump since you know that he's most likely going to be here. That's not what I talked about before. So let's just see what happens. Now let's forward. As you can see, he's right here. He's literally standing directly next to you. That is a very risky play, given that this enemy could have collapsed on you with him, because you know where he pathed and where he would have reached. He just went from wolves. As I said, he didn't take this camp, and he went straight from red to wolves. So you should have known where he was. It's just a minimal thing, so it's not a huge problem. You Not gonna think about all those things unless you play more games, but everything comes into factor. This is more of an advanced step to track where the enemy jungler is. So you know where he is now. He's over there. You can get a lot of information by knowing where the enemy jungler is. You can take objectives. If you know the enemy jungler is on the top side of the map, maybe you can take Dragon because it's so far away from you, so the likelihood of them coming down at that pace is impossible to be able to steal your arm buff. So you'll be able to take the drag before they can take it. Let's say they were on the bot side and they had a Rip Herald up, then you could have taken Rip Herald maybe because they're on the bot side. Maybe they're trying to get a gank. Maybe they fail the gank. Then you could get Rip Herald and they'll benefit from nothing since they will fail a gank and you get Rip Herald in exchange, which is a guaranteed, almost guaranteed tower. So another thing is, if you saw the enemy jungler here, and let's say you were on the bot side here, you could, instead of taking your camps, you can rush into his jungle and take his camps, or check and see if his camps are there. If there's no camps, then you could at least place a ward, so you'll be able to know where he is the next place he goes. So it's everything needs to go into your mind of where the enemy jungler is at all times, and you can gain many benefits from it. So I'll just fast forward this. Your red buff, that's fine. Yeah, try and get a gank on top. Yes. You know that Udyr was over here before. Because Udyr was here before, the only place he can gank is from mid. Only place he can gank is mid and top. It is impossible for Udyr to gank bot side since he was over here and you knew he was here. Since you parted there. Actually, yeah, you didn't even, you saw him on the board, even if you didn't see him at the world camp. So you know that he's top side. Because you know that he's top side, he's most likely gonna gank top. And you need to be aware of each lane. If he can either gank top or mid. As you can see, there's no way he can gank mid here, because Zoe is all the way over here. Even if she's about to die, that's not the point. The lane is so pushed up from Malzahar that there's no way for Udyr to gank this lane. So the only lane you can gank is top. You need to be able to check your lanes constantly. Check, you know that he can either gank top or mid, so you need to check mid lane, see where the lane is. Check, think to yourself, can Udyr gank this lane? If the answer is no, I need to go to the next lane. Can Udyr gank this lane? Yes, he can very easily gank this lane. So you need to think about all that. Not only that, you need to check and see the HP. You can obviously see that your laner has lower HP than their laner. And their laner is a more tanky champion than Fiora. So Fiora would easily get bursted by Udyr. If Udyr comes to the gank, you get bursted faster by Udyr than you are able to take down Warwick. So if Udyr was to show up here, as he does, he will 100% get the kill. More than you will be able to get the kill on Udyr. Because they have stronger dueling potential. Not only that, they have strong dueling potential based on the champions. You need to think about the champions as a whole. Like, you have Udyr as a jungler, and you have Warwick top. Udyr and Warwick are able to take down or beat Fiora and Warwick much more easily than Warwick and Fiora can beat Udyr and Warwick. Because Udyr has a stun, Udyr has a lot more CC, and so does Warwick. Warwick has his I think it's his E, which is to zone off with the circle to trap the enemies inside, and Udyr has his stun. So you have the only CC you have is your fair, and which is not 100% reliable, unlike their CC, which like Udyr can just press stun, or Fiora's riposte to stun. So you need to think about the matchups, the enemy's matchups and your matchups. So the likelihood of you winning this trade is very slim. They are most likely to come up on top because of everything that I discussed. Exactly as I said, you could not come up on top because of the fact that of your laners. You have much less pressure with Fiora and Udyr than does Warwick and, as I was saying, and Udyr, because they both have much more CC. You think of it as a CC perspective. They have more CC, so they can stick you down while they can do damage to you. And you don't have as much CC as them, or as much reliable. You need to land it. It's much easier to land this Warwick E and his stun. As you can see, he even has his E and he has his stun. So that's much more pressure than you'll have. One other thing I can mention, which is a mechanical thing, it's not a big deal. Let me see. Get Udyr very low here. So I'm just going to see if you have a ward on you. You don't have a ward. But if you had a ward, you should have placed it in here. And if you don't, you know you don't have a ward. But what you should do is you should run into this bush because you know Udyr flashed to this bush and he was way lower than Yorick. So like if you're getting a kill on Udyr is much higher. So you just immediately walk into the bush and try to kill him. I know it's a mechanical play, but some advice. You have a higher likelihood to kill him than you do to Yorick. So you just walk into the bush immediately. But that's a minimal thing, so it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna fast forward the game now until you respawn. You see, as I was saying, there's so much information you can get in the first few minutes of the game. This is only a 3-minute game so far. And there's so much information I could have given. You died only once so far in this top lane. Top lane you died once. But this one death can actually be very negative impactful because they get damage on the tower. Not only that, they got 2 kills. They got Fiora and you. That pushes your ability to snowball the game below and they get a lead. So they are able to snowball the lead more and you're falling behind. Basically how you win games is you need to put your lead above the enemy's lead. Or at least match the lead. That's how you win games in an overall perspective. So if the enemy team has a carry that's very fair, you need to at least get to near his level or higher than his level. Otherwise, like if you win any game is much slimmer unless you'll have very good team fighting. So your lead is placed below. Now you need to keep track of your camps. Which camps did you take? Because you know you took red buff. That's the only camp you took on your side. So you still have birds and you still have the golems. And you have everything on bot side. So you've only cleared 1 camp so far on your side. You cleared 2 camps on his side. Each jungle creep gives 4 CS. So you have 12 CS. That just means because you cleared 3 camps. 1, 2, 3. So because you cleared red buff only, you have all your camps up. So your pathing is like very screwed up right now because you did that gank. And you didn't track where the jungler was. Because the only reason you died here is because you didn't know where Udyr was. You didn't think of where Udyr was and you knew Udyr was top. You couldn't gank mid, you could only gank top. And their pressure is much stronger than your pressure to be able to win that fight. You might not think about all this, but there's a lot to think about in the jungle. You need to think about matchups. If you're stronger than the enemy jungler, or if you're stronger than the enemy jungler, the top lane as a whole, based on the HP of your allies and your HP, and there's many factors to take into consideration. The best scenario would have been to not do this fight here that you did, and just cut your losses where Fiora just died. So what you need to do now is you need to go back and play your camps. What I would suggest you do is, let me think about it. Ganking Malzahar wouldn't be very easy to gank Malzahar. Especially with, actually it will be okay with Zoe, but to break his spell, she might be a problem. So you can gank Malzahar, but I wouldn't suggest ganking Yorick because now that he has a lead, it might be more difficult. Not only that, but you won't get you'll get more benefits if you try to snowball maybe mid or outside, in my opinion. That decrease in lead, not the best. You might want to just CS now to get ahead in levels, because you're falling behind levels, and then you try to gank a lane. Don't immediately go from ganking one lane to another lane. See, I think it's very important in this new preseason where there's catching up XP. And because it's catching up XP, that means if you lose your camps, you can't get it back. You can't gain back the X. There's no catching XP up. So you can't just gain back the experience you lost. So you did not clear this camp, did not clear this camp. What I would suggest you have done instead of going here is you should have went from immediately to golems, then you went down to birds, then you went down to here. So you would have done this entire side, and then your red buff would have been in time to go and clear that after you clear the entire map. So you should have went from golems, you should have went from the camp the side you went from. Clear this, so you should go from here, come back down, and then you want to look for a gank either mid or bot. You don't want to really gank top too much. You can gank top, but the CC too is not a big amount. Like Fiora can CC with her post and you can CC with your E, but it's not a very reliable CC unless you have your ult. So you don't really want to gank top unless you have your ults. You don't want to gank lanes that don't have a lot of CC, or the potential of you getting a kill is minimal, or the lead you create won't be massive. The likelihood of Fiora getting a lead is okay, but if in general, it's better to gank Zoe or bot lane, especially because you got behind and Yorick has an advantage now. So you should have went from here to here instead of going from blue up. It's not a big deal. It's pathing. Clear some camps, don't gank immediately. So your bot lane has gone 2 kills, that's good. So you can gank either mid or top, or you could just clear your camps. Also, you missed this camp. Shouldn't path like that ever. You know that bot lane got 2 kills. So you should path from here to here to here. You don't want to ever give away the distance you've traveled. You don't want to take away the amount of time you have to move on the map. Every second counts as a jungler. You want to go from here to here to here. The fact that you went from here to back to here and then back to here is not a good idea, because you knew when the bot lane got the 2 kills. So there's no way to gank bot. There's no reason to gank bot. You should have just went from, and getting a dragon this early game doesn't make much sense. It's not the best. You want to put yourself ahead in terms of levels first. So you should have went from here to here to here, so you'll be able to immediately go back up to here instead of coming back down. So slow down your pace a little bit, and there's no reason to come down here right now, except for trying to get drag. Getting Scuttle Crab is okay because you want to protect your bottom lane, given the fact that they got ahead. So that's okay. And you could come and try to counter gang this. Actually, no, you don't want to counter gang this. The reason you don't want to counter gang this is because the fact that your ADC is so low and both Rakan and Zaya have no mana. You just want to ping them back. What the best you could do is ping them back, or at least come down and try to maybe CC the Udyr, but it's questionable. You should probably just continue your pathing and clear from here to here instead of coming down here. There's no reason for you to walk down here. You can't get anything here because they have no mana. There's no reason for you to come here. You're wasting time because of the fact that you have no follow-up. So you should path from here, go up, and cross. You might not think such a big deal, but you've wasted a lot of time by pathing so strangely, going from here to here and dying after you just cleared red buff. You haven't cleared top camp, you haven't cleared here. It's a very weird pathing. The pathing is thrown off completely because of that. Every factor counts. Every second in general. This is fine. I'll speed this up. And just go back. Okay, so you're trying to gank here. This is a good gank because your laner has a level advantage on the Yorick. You need to also look at levels. You see that your Fiora is level 6 and he's level 5. So the likelihood of this gank working is pretty high. Even if he has 1 kill lead, he's lower level, so likelihood, and your Fiora has 1 kill also, so she got a gold lead. So they're both the same lead. So you will most likely win this fight here unless Udyr shows up. Thing is, the last place you saw Udyr was bot. So he most likely cleared all of his camps. He cleared here, here, and here because he was bot side and he came for a gank. He probably cleared all these camps and then went here. So he's most likely going to be near top side now. Or if not near top side, he probably didn't take his chicken, so he's probably at Raptors now. I'll just take a look. Yeah, he's either here or here. If he's either here or here, it's a possibility. Then he could come and counter gank you now. You need to track. This is all in tracking the enemy jungler. You knew that he was bot side previously, so the likelihood of him coming back bot side is slim. And there's no way for him to gank mid because the lane is not in mid. Or rather, his lane is in mid. Or is getting... It's just a very low likelihood he's going to gank this. He can gank it, but he could either gank mid or top. So you need to always consider that he could come and counter gank you. I think the problem you have in this game is counter ganks. And you are half health on HP, so if Udyr is to show up here, 100% Udyr is going to win this trade with Yorick. Because you all have a disadvantage in that situation. And I'm sure that's what is going to happen. It's all about tracking the enemy jungle. Because he was bot side before, he's not going to be bot side again, so he's going to be top side. You even see the plant being hit, so you know he's top side. So immediately when you see that plant being hit, you should run back and disengage this gank. Because once you try to gank him here, you're going to lose most of your health, probably be a quarter HP remaining when this is done. And if Udyr shows up, right about when he's going to die, you are most likely going to die. So you should just disengage this fight immediately and probably back and then restart your camps. Well, let's watch it out. Yeah, Udyr is coming exactly as expected. There's no way for you all to win that fight anymore. You're all low HP than them, and they have better dealing potential. Very minor things that come together in the end to make you behind, and this is the reason why you have problems with Udyr. Pretty sure because he counter-ganked you twice if you didn't notice it. He counter-ganked at the start because you didn't track where he was, and he counter-ganked you just now if you didn't know where he was. So you should have all taken that into consideration. But there's a lot to take in, so it's fine. Let's see if there's anything else useful knowledge to be taken from this game. I think your red buff should be up soon. It's not up already. Yeah, it's up soon. This pathing is a little strange because your actually no, it's fine because your red buff isn't up yet, so it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. You go from here to Raptors when it's up and to red. Your whole pathing is off track because of the fact that got thrown off with this red buff just being cleared and everything else wasn't cleared. That's one huge thing. You never wanna gank when so many camps up. Or what you should have done, instead of coming here, you should have just gone immediately to red buff. It's not a good idea to go to wolves because that throws off your pathing more. You should just go back to your first camp that comes back up, which is red buff. So you should just go on here. As soon as this is done, you should go back to here. Probably get your blue. And then you can go back to here if you need to get these two camps. Raptors and golems. Then you can look for a gank. Let's see what you'll do next. Okay, you're trying to look for a gank bot side. A gank working here is very slim. The reason why I would say a gank working here is very slim is because they are very near to the tower. And for Rakan to be able to engage, he needs to come very near to the tower too, which is where Morgana and MFS, the likelihood of them walking up here is very slim because their minions are up here. You all have more minions than their minions. You also need to monitor minion placements. You have less minions. They have less minions than your minions, so they're not going to walk up here. They want to clear these minions before they can walk up. They have less minions than your minions. Your minions are going to push into them, so they're most likely going to be pushed into the tower. So you have even less chance of being able to gank them because they'll be more close to the tower. And not only that, they're most likely going to have a ward in there. Almost 100% of the time, or at least 80% of the time, they're going to have a pink ward in here. So you want to try and avoid a pink ward, or at least you could go and just clear it and avoid the gank. Don't continue the gank. Yeah, just clear it. So you can't even clear the ward because of the placement of the enemies. Because they were so close to the tower, they can easily defend this ward. There's no reason for you to try and get even possible to try and get a gank here. You're trying to force a gank. You don't want to force ganks. You just want to try and get a kill where you can see the likelihood of getting a kill. You don't want to force ganks. It will just come. The kills will come to you once you just see a lane pushed up too far. When you see a lane pushed up too far, then you can gank it. If there's no lanes pushed up, you just want to farm. You don't want to put yourself behind by trying to gank continuously without farming. Your CS might say differently, but you're actually behind here because you should have a lot more CS given the fact that your pathing is thrown up so much and you're wasting so much time by being here. There's no gank being possible here. Tower diving this is, you're most likely gonna die if you tower dive this. Doesn't make any sense to tower dive this. You can try, but it's wasting time because they know you were here previously. And you're very close to the tower, so there's no chance of you getting a kill there. And because of the fact that they were pushed to the tower, they are easily able to rotate here and come to try and defend with Udyr. And your laners had less mana, had low mana. Everybody had low mana, but the fact is that Udyr is stronger than you at this point because Daddy got a kill advantage on you at the start, and he's going to be able to win this fight more than you are able to win this fight because he has a greater lead. Not only that, but it's a little iffy. You can win the fight, but it's a little iffy. This is fine, but it's very variable. What I mean by variable is you're not gonna get this happening in most games. Just a gank like that happening. That Udyr appears here. Had Udyr appear in your jungle, that's very variable. And not gonna happen often. That's more you're trying to force a gank that doesn't need to be forced. And because you forced the gank, Udyr appeared to try and counter gank you, but there was really no point in that happening. That shouldn't have happened in reality. If it was in a higher skilled game, that would not happen where the enemy just comes here and literally suicides into you to give you a free kill. This is fine. Taking drag now is absolutely perfect because Udyr is not spawned and Morgana just died. So taking drag here is a very good decision. Now I want to place a ward over the wall though. If you have a ward. Yes, you have a ward. You always want to place a ward over the wall when you're clearing dragons so you'll be able to see where the enemies are. As you can see, Malza is right there. You always want to put a ward over the wall. When I think about it, but it's a good idea. Easily smites, try and steal from you. As you can see, he took the drag. The reason why he took the drag is because you did not have a ward over the wall, so you couldn't tell where he was, so you missmited because you didn't take in consideration that he could have possibly been there. So you just smited carelessly. Basically just gave away a free water drag. You always want to ward over that wall when you're trying to take drag. You always want to place yourself in a spot where you are safe and able to secure an objective without the enemy being able to threaten it. So you want to place vision. Vision is key. You want to place vision around the area. You want to barely have any wards around the area. You want to place vision so you'll be able to see where the enemies are. You know that the bot lane just died, so it was a good decision to take drag. You didn't know where the mid laner was. I'll watch out to probably 50 minutes maximum, and then close the game. This is fine, you taking your camps is fine because you're put behind by basically doing nothing in this past few ganks. You get any good successful ganks, so this is fine. There's no reason for you to come mid now. There's no way you can get a kill off here. There's no way you can get a kill off here. They're too close to the tower. So we should just go, should just go to clear your golems. There's no point doing that. Golems and back immediately. You don't want to stay on the map for such extended periods of time without spending your gold. Because if you don't spend your gold, you put yourself at a disadvantage while the enemy has an advantage. And another thing, there's no reason for you to be really clearing this ward here because the laning phase for top lane is done. This ward is mostly to protect top lane and mid lane, and your whole team is mid lane, so there's no real reason to clear this hell crab here. Just wasting time. What you should do is just clear your golems and back. And there's also no reason for you to be invading Udyr here. You're supposed to be at a disadvantage to Udyr. You know it's about even level playing field right now, but you shouldn't really gang this because you know where Warwick is. You actually see where Warwick is, and your top lane is all the way over here. So your top laner can't even come to help you, and your laners are pushed up to the tower so they can come to help you. So if you get collapsed on here, you're going to 100% die unless you use your ult to escape. So there's no reason for you to be in the enemy jungle if you don't have your allies to protect you if anything happens. Exactly as I said, it's just like a chess game. You can't be in that position. You can't play that specific piece at that specific point. The enemy is going to collapse on you, and you have nothing to help you to protect you. Nobody to protect you. Fiora is way away from you, and your allies are in mid, trapped by the tower. There's no reason for you to be in the jungle to begin with also, because you don't have a massive lead on Warwick and Udyr either. I'll just wait for you to respawn. Give it 2 more minutes and see if there's any more useful information to provide. As I said, at the start of this replay, everything is about the early game. If you piece together the early game and you track the enemy jungle, tracking the enemy jungle is very important. So try to focus on a set of games just tracking the enemy jungle. Don't focus on your mechanics, don't focus on pathing to the best you can, focus on gank the best you can, just focus on where the enemy jungler is. Then naturally you can gank correct lanes. You don't want to gank a lane that is disadvantageous for you in a 2v2 scenario with the enemy jungler if they counter gank you. You want to always be an advantage when you're doing ganks. As you can see, you're behind and Udyr is definitely ahead now because he got an extra assist. Now you're taking referral. Udyr is dead, Malzahar is dead, and you don't know where these 3 enemies are. You all have control over this side of the map, except your Rakan is very low and your Fiora is engaging in a fight here. I don't really suggest you getting referral here. It's an okay decision, but you shouldn't get a referral because you don't have your allies here to protect you. You're doing a fight right now, so if anybody comes to try and sneak in, or actually sneak in or try to steal this, you will have no protection. Similar scenario. You can't get it, it's okay decision. But if they didn't end up killing Warwick, then you would have no protection here. If they didn't end up killing Warwick. But because they ended up killing Warwick, it's a fine decision. But if it was given a higher level game, the likelihood of you getting this for free is slim. The enemy bot lane would have probably came up and tried to stop you, or at least try and block them off, which is what is happening right here. They're trying to block them off. So if you are taken any longer to clear this, maybe they would have came up and be able to take or try and smite steal it from you before you're able to take it. If you cleared it a little slower, because they're right here now. If you were able to clear it in time. Just see if there's any more deaths for me. 1 there, 2 there. Okay, I'll just check the next 2 deaths and then I'll be the end of the replay analysis. Always checking deaths in a replay is important because every death is a mistake. Every time you die, there's a reason behind why you died. It's nothing to do with probability that you just died because of luck. There are only very slim cases where that's the situation. I'll just replay this. Thanks for watching. I have to end the replay now. I hope you learned from this information and I hope to help you again next time.